Alright, here we go. This is a ranked 2v2 on Twin Peaks between the Carbon team on the left side. It is TechnicalError4 in the Raptor Neo and Tangibility in the Classic Warthog and their opponents. The blue team on the right side, it is Sitta in the Steampunk. That is a Steampunk Osprey and Frexion. I think that's how you say it. I'm going to say Frexion in the Classic Striker. Twin Peaks... not my favorite map of all time. You can probably go back and watch Twin Peaks games that I've cast and probably figure that out for yourself. To me, it's gotten a little bit worse with this initial neutral outpost being being neutral rather than being under a friendly control. And Frexion and doing a little bit of harass, but I don't know how much he was able to get killed. I think some creeps or anything or something like that, but I don't think it was worth the death at this point. The post-to-post distances, especially just for like from here to here, very close on Twin Peaks, so really easy to harass. Really short flight distances. Frexion though just getting himself killed and caught by Technical Error and Tangibility. Tangi with really great air-to-ground control there to get that finish, or to get a lot of the damage. But this is going to be a top-bottom fight, something that you don't get to see very much, and something that I do find very interesting on Twin Peaks. Bottom is pretty standard, just going straight bottom. That's kind of the safe way to go, because you can kind of hold off your opponent, but going top, you're basically forcing yourself into a mid-fight that you must win, and should the opponent do that themselves. And also, if the opponent goes bottom, and you decide to go top, oh, okay, so Sitta and Frexion with no, no mercy here, constant leapfrogging forward and actually taking Technical Error and Tangibility's close outpost and having it extremely secure. 3 infantry still in the post, or, okay, 1 very low on health. But Tangi focusing on Frexion instead of the infantry, and more get put in. So this is going to be pretty easy for blue team to hold. Sitting getting killed by Tangibility, but okay, so able to neutralize it. I guess that air to ground still pretty darn decent, and lots of units right here in the front. I'm a little surprised to see that the blue team didn't decide to defend more with more of their units on the front. They probably They probably would have been able to hold that outpost, lose more units, yes, but the Carbon team would have lost more units as well. Tangi trying to get the top post neutralized with jumpers, but the jumpers are not going to be enough, especially with Frexion here to defend. But the Carbon team might actually be able to make their way back and take this outpost back, or at least clear the blue units, or lighten them up significantly. Sitta and Frexion still trying to keep this, hold this post. Lots of infantry going down, but there are too many tanks on the left side of that post for the blue team to hold it for, or not even capture it. The infantry go in and get almost immediately knocked down. Similar to what happened to the Carbon infantry just now. Frexion trying to get a neutralization on the bottom outpost here, but Tangi is here to respond, and once again the air to ground really great, and able to fend off those unit drops that the blue team has dropped. But the unit presence here at the bottom for Carbon team is somewhat light. If there was a more coordinated attack by the blue team, or more units dedicated to it, I do think they would be able to get the neutralization. However, would they be able to maintain the neutralization if they should get it? I don't really think so, depending on how many they could have ferried, because the it's a direct path for the Carbon creeps, and it's easy to just do a ferry. So now the Carbon team has a pretty good foothold on the bottom outpost. Brutes are already out, as Tangibility is at level 5, and Technical Error still holding off the blue team down here with his Neo. But a pretty decent amount of heavy mines over here will prevent the Carbon team from pushing forward, although I would assume that bottom on Twin Peaks you would do more of a leapfrog approach rather than pushing. So, the heavy mines, I'm not really sure how effective they will be. Instead of getting focused very strongly by Tangibility right now. Tangi, okay, not choosing to focus on Sitta to try to get more damage on him and get the kill. But Technical Error is here as well, so, okay, Frexion completely out of energy, forced to retreat there. And yeah, Brutes out for the blue team as well. So Technical Error going to try to get a neutralization on the right outpost, putting a Longhorn just out of reach of those brutes. And the blue team still has not been able to move forward from this top outpost. 44 to 52 for the upkeep right now, as the blue team does have a little bit more max upkeep. Well, actually significantly more, because they do have that one extra outpost. Keeping this outpost neutral is preventing Carbon Team from building up any kind of forces, so keeping them from taking the bottom right is pretty critical for the blue team, because if they are able to take it, then they will be able to fight more of an even battle, and they are having trouble holding off, you know, just this smaller army of the Carbon Team right now. Yeah, and Technical Error and Tangi kind of sitting on credits, 12,000 and 24,000 right now, mostly because they weren't able to just make more tanks and stuff like that due to the max upkeep limit. Tangi going to try to focus Sitta here, and Carbon Team takes this outpost under their control briefly. Every time a team takes an outpost, regardless of how long they hold it, I don't know how many people know this, but you do get experience. I think it's 250, so it's actually more beneficial to take outposts and lose them over and over and over again regarding experience than to take it and hold it. So Carbon Team grabbing this bottom outpost under their control, the bottom right, so they do have control of the entire bottom span right now on Twin Peaks. Let's see if they can hold it. Sitta and Frexion doing their best to neutralize, as they should, dropping a couple units, but really they should dedicate, I would think they should dedicate as much as possible, because if the Carbon Team can hold this, then it is pretty much game over. I would think they have direct path, a direct line to their fort, and they still are having a very difficult time fighting that fight on that left side. It is just Tangibility all alone over here, so this will get neutralized, and Sitta and Frexion might actually, okay, they're going to take it, but will they be able to hold it? Tangibility getting the focus on Sitta over his outpost, newly taken outpost with very little energy. And Brute's going to rip up those butchers. Ironically enough, I think. So Tangi needs to get this neutralized again, but Frexion and Sitta are both here to defend, while Technical Error is now moving up with Buster. Oh, okay, a Buster and stuff leading the way forward. Decides to move up. That's kind of risky and actually really low on health. Just gonna fire in, but Tangi taking a lot of damage with that Warthog shield ability, but oh, barely gets finished off before getting out of there. And so the blue team forces have actually been significantly, you know, killed, I guess. I don't know. I'm looking for a word and I can't find the word, but you guys know what I'm saying, I think. So Tangi and Technical actually pushing the blue team back. There's very little blue team presence over here on the Carbon side of this divide, and Frexion getting finished off in that chase. So the blue team going to be, or the Carbon team going to be able to take this bottom, or this left under their control, but as the blue team has the control of the bottom right, this is actually going to be an advantage on the blue team side. 25 to 46, obviously an upkeep advantage right now, but holding that middle outpost, that top center under their control, will give them more upkeep, more income, and just more of everything for the most part. Blue team putting pressure on the bottom left here, lots of action, and this probably will get neutralized considering the amount of blue units. Well, Technical Error with the stasis and Tangibility actually using the Warthog melee, which I don't think I've ever seen in a high tier game. But there you go. And Frexion almost getting focused there. Was safe enough. Was safe enough. Oh, but Tangi continuing. Okay, yeah, the post down here is kind of low on energy. They might actually get a neutralization. No, too many brutes. Too many brutes and too many butchers in that post. Oh, actually, just butchers. But let's see if Technical Error up here at the top. Let's see if he's going to try to go for some... Okay, no, just putting defensive heavy mines. Well, I don't know if you can even use heavy mines as in an offensive capacity, can you? It's kind of weird. Oh god, Carbon team moving forward, but lots of heavy mines there. They are gonna get completely annihilated. Most of their units have been killed, and the rest of the units have been softened up. They are trying to create a wall here for the most part. A defensive line up here at the top. they're posting their units up, I guess is the way you can put that. But lots of gangsters actually down the field for the blue team. Gangsters, tons of health, basically a tank health. I mean, pretty damn close. And lots of damage, and decently fast. So honestly, just characterizing gangsters as what they should be, I think they probably need to have more changes because they're just too tanky. They do a lot of damage. Maybe their weapon needs to be lowered, something like that. I don't know. Outposts are... I'm not going to get into balance, actually. I'm just going to... Let's stop there. Let's stop there. Busters right at the front for the Carbon team. Sitta having a little bit of difficulty handling it due to their very long range and strong frontal armor. And TechnicalError holding the line down here against Frexion. Longhorn leading the way as they should. And a couple patchers. Oh, just one right now at the back. And pretty much the same unit composition exactly over here for Tangibility, putting a Gorgon down to prevent mech harass, which is pretty dangerous with what the hell are those called? Busters, because they have such slow turn rate. But against an Osprey, you're not really going to see an Osprey harass too much, and definitely with a Gorgon there, you're not really going to see them at all do anything on the ground, or pretty much in the area for any relative extended period of time. Longhorn, low on health, okay, Tangi bringing it back, but they do need more healing units if they're going to try this approach, as they are going to have to fight a very standoffish battle. More heavy mines going down by the blue team. Tons of heavy mines everywhere, all the time, in every game now, which is, honestly, I don't really like it. It just slows games down. It makes people, it kind of forces you to check for them every time, which is really boring. Anyway, again, not going to try to comment on balance and game direction. Right now, Buster leading the way, okay, in the front, which is pretty much where it should go, or like one of the few units that are really meant to do that, to be the very, very, very front line of your unit composition. TechnicalError just doing some stasis, quick stasis. I mean, you might as well do something, I guess. Oh, and a patcher dropped for some strange reason. That's kind of weird. Okay, picking it up. I think he assumed it was a different unit when he picked it up. Tangi doing his best to try to kill the front gangsters over here. And Frexion, oh, really low on health, but Tangi as well forced to pull back. But Frexion also forced to go to his back post. TechnicalError bringing more busters up. And Sitta now pushing forward, but the gangsters are going to move at Goliath speed as Goliath is there. But the overshield does get applied, and okay, the stasis unapplying it because the stasis does do a little bit of damage. I honestly don't really see the point in stasis doing a little bit of damage, and it does allow it to do things like that. And this will probably go to the Carbon team. Tangi tanking all that damage with the Warthog shield. And, oh gosh, barely getting out of there. TechnicalError spamming the stasis as well. But, yeah, the Carbon team kind of coming out on top, but the blue team not going to be getting this outpost neutralized. So, it doesn't really matter. They pretty much came out even in this battle. Or in that short exchange with the blue team pushing forward for some strange reason. And the blue team deciding to do it again. And this time the goalie leading the way for Carbon team. Going to get saved by Tangibility. They're going to lose some Longhorn instead, or will they? Maybe just one or two, and the Gorgon now getting dropped in front as it has had tons of damage, or tons of health, and a double kill for Tangibility, so we will have a complete team wipe on the blue side. Will the Carbon team get this neutralization? That is pretty much priority number one right now. TechnicalError focusing on the Longhorn instead. Tangi trying to get this neutralized. And TechnicalError focusing on the creeps, but Tangi does get the job done with that powerful Warthog minigun. And the blue team now does have to bring some creeps down, or the Carbon team will be able to get a pretty decent surround, as they are right now, actually. Okay, these I would assume that they would have been set on follow and brought over, or ferried over, but Tangibility getting another kill on Sitta, hitting that rampage status, and oh, almost getting a kill on Frexion there. Very, very close. I don't know at what point the Unreal Tournament voice guy says godlike. I'm not sure, not 100% sure on that, but does he even? I don't know. Anyway, 46 units on the field compared for the Carbon team compared to the Blue team's 20. 65 to 38 upkeep, and it does look like it is going to be the Carbon team's game at this time. It doesn't look like there's much that the Blue team can actually do about this, and Tangi is now going to go for that last outpost on the right side. The Gangster going to get focused down by the Warthog, and the Brute's going to focus down that outpost, so it does go to neutral. Not enough Brutes here to take the outpost under control, but Tangi probably going to come with a couple more. There you go, 2, and Brutes have tons of health, and it will be very difficult for even a level 9 striker to get that neutralization very quickly. I would assume he has points in missiles. Yes, 3 points in missiles, but still going to be pretty difficult. Technical error defending now here the right side outpost as Sitta and Frexion are way behind at this point. There's very little that they can do, although they do have Berthas up here. Oh, I didn't even notice they had Berthas up. Okay, it does look like Sitta is just hovering there, which implies they are probably surrendering at this point. They probably have hit the surrender function, but there is no visual indication of that in spectator client. And domination timer is starting to count down, and before it does count down, I'm pretty sure that we will see the end of the game due to a surrender. And there you go, Carbon team, Tangibility, and TechnicalError4 taking this ranked 2v2 on Twin Peaks over Sitta and Frexion. But that was a very hectic game right from the beginning. Sitta and Frexion doing a lot of work, being very aggressive, taking the top outpost. It is risky. I will definitely point that out. It is very risky to do that. And they went pretty hard. I don't know how well they would have done should they have chosen to push even further forward to block the outpost from getting neutralized. Yes, obviously they would have lost more units, but they might have had a chance to take the outpost, or to keep the outpost under their control, which is obviously, unit reinforcement points, recharge of energy, recharge of health, blah blah blah. You just got to ferry a couple more creeps, and etc. Bunker, and I don't know. I mean, if I had to guess, it probably wouldn't have been enough still, due to the Carbon team, the amount of units they decided to allocate for that defense versus the bottom fight, which they had very minimal units for the bottom fight. Hard to say what is the correct choice in general, but thanks to Tangibility for sending in this game. Very interesting and unorthodox is kind of unusual Twin Peaks game from my perspective. Don't really see many games like that. Anyway, guys, again, replays, set up your folders, send in your replays, keep watching, keep playing, keep breathing, because if you're dead, you can't play AirMech. This is RUI, and that is game. See you next time.